Hey everyone. Today is a day two. We're gonna talk about why people struggle landing clients on LinkedIn. So like really good topic, and a lot of entrepreneurs I know uh question like why I it seems like I do everything right. It seems like I'm doing the work. Why am I not getting clients? Why am I not getting the results that I desire? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Yesterday we were talking about like why LinkedIn is a really good platform for entrepreneurs. Yesterday we also talked about the question about your identity as an entrepreneur, and we also talked about and we also talk, cover a few case studies. So, from yesterday, I couldn't answer all of the questions because we kind of ran over yesterday. So I'm going to be answering questions that you'll ask me yesterday, like whatever I couldn't get to yesterday, I'm going to answer today. So without further ado, let me just make sure that I have um that I have your chats everywhere. So like now I'm using Restream for my live stream, and unfortunately I can't really gather all of your I can't really gather all of your questions like in one place. So I kind of have to jump around through different screens. All right. Well, without further ado, let's talk about why people struggle landing clients from LinkedIn. And this tip is not going to be just LinkedIn specific, because it goes a little bit beyond just a single platform. Because no matter what platform you use, like those are five components that um I discovered so far that can prevent you from landing your clients. So let me share my screen and Instagram. I'm going live on Instagram today as well, and I'm going live through um Restream. So like, listen, when I share my screen on Instagram, you can't really see it well. I know, and I will do my best not to get you stuck in that position for too long. But I will articulate all of the points too. So, um, well, there are five reasons why people struggle to land clients from a LinkedIn. So one of the reasons is the messaging. Like no matter what platform, and by the way, this is like we talk about LinkedIn, but like this is not just about LinkedIn. This is not just about LinkedIn. This is literally about any platform that you are using. Like the number one people are not landing clients is your messaging. Your messaging is not clear. So let's talk about the messaging piece. When we talk about the messaging piece, is what is messaging? What is messaging? Is your message that attracts or repels your customer. And you might be wondering, how do I contract that message? How do I put together a message that speaks to my customer? And your messaging has everything to do with your customer. If you don't know what your customer wants, not assume, not what you think you know what your customer wants, but like really, truly what your customer wants. Because you can't, you might be an industry expert, you know your craft really well. You can help people, you can deliver results. But if you don't know what people want, it's going to be rather hard for you to put together a compelling messaging for the people. So start with asking questions. Start with asking questions. If your messaging is not landing, like people not raising hands, people not people not signing up, then I would encourage you to like really start conducting polls, interviews, like really non like n- really get people on the call, not for a sales call, but for an interview. Because until you figure out what people want, until you figure out what people need, or what they think they need, like you won't be able to connect like very compelling messaging. And this is where a lot of entrepreneurs go so wrong. We think that it's about algorithms. We think it's about like beautiful posts. We think about it's about like copy, like optimize LinkedIn profile, optimize profile using platform right. This is important, y'all. This is all important. I'm not saying that it's not important, but we are often getting distracted by how do I cheat the algorithm? How do I make my post like platform friendly? How do I optimize my profile? And this is what I see. I talked to a lot of people who went through LinkedIn training. I talked to a lot of people who went through some sort of social media training, right? And since we're focusing on LinkedIn, let's talk about LinkedIn. They have optimized profile. They know how to post on LinkedIn. They know how to format their posts, right? You know that when you're posting something on social media, especially on LinkedIn, you should format your text. Every sentence should starts with a new, like with a new space. Then you go space down, space down, space down, emojis to make it easy to read. Like all of those beautiful techniques people use, but it's still not landing because it is not about shiny objects. And it's not about shiny objects. It's not about just editing. Yes, editing and formatting is important. Playing the algorithm game, right? Like, and well, and when we say algorithm, like just replace it with people. People want to consume and be treated differently on different platforms because again yesterday we were talking about that people consume your content everywhere, but on LinkedIn they come for education, for insights, right? For building network, for building relationship, for building connections. On other platforms they might behave differently. So, and yes, understanding the platform is important, but like with your understanding the platform, it's important that you have very clear messaging, that you have very clear messaging. All right, Gabriella is joining. By the way, if you're not like, if you like, hello, my friend, hello, Gabriella, welcome to the webinar. And by the way, if you're not on Zoom, and you want to get hot seat coaching session with me, join me on Zoom. Join me on Zoom. If you didn't sign up, sign up. You should receive email. Send me a message. I will send you the link for the Zoom. If you want hot seat coaching session with me, if you wanna participate, ask me questions live. Please join me on Zoom. Join me on Zoom because I will try to answer your questions on social media as well, but I gotta jump through different screens, right? Like Zoom can unfortunately pull all of your comments in one section, right? But messaging is really, really important. So even if you like platform is important, messaging is important. And messaging comes from you surveying your customers. From you surveying your customers. Like how can you survey your customers? You ask questions even like during live, right? Always, like let's say, okay, who is in high ticket business in my audience right now? Drop age in the comments. Drop age in the comments. Drop age in the comments. And this is one of the ways I'm surveying customers, right? And I'm seeing what people are responding. Polls, another thing, right? Like I constantly utilize polls on my LinkedIn and Instagram. They kind of act a little different. They kind of like a little funny, but understanding who I'm talking to. Let's say I'm focusing on high ticket offer. And if everybody voted that they are selling product at $200, like my messaging for high ticket product, for high ticket program is not going to land with them. I probably have to reshuffle my messaging and like, okay, I need to educate my audience why high ticket, why they should sell high ticket offer first, because like everybody is voting that they're selling products and services at $200. Maybe, maybe I attracted wrong audience for one or the other reason. Maybe I need to like maybe I need to start pivoting and shifting and connecting with people with more fluent buyers or with more fluent sellers. That's another thing. That's another reason. That's another reason how I can fix the messaging. So let me share my screen one more time with you. Like Instagram, listen, it pains me. Like I will upload the recording after that so you can see my whole screen. Now, you don't know your customer well enough. You don't know your customer well enough. This is what I like. I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it too, because we often are very generic about who we serve. Let's say when I started my first offer with software engineers, I was saying that I'm serving tech professionals. And tech professional is can be anything from help desk, IT help desk specialist to like a CEO of tech company, right? And they're all tech professionals. It's a little broad. Now, like, how do I make it narrow? How can I narrow down that group of people? I can narrow it down by a profession, by a specific trade. I can narrow down by the leadership, right? By the function of their leadership, either managers, are they CEOs, are they executives, are they individual contributors, are they leads, are they in transition from individual contributors to leaders, right? Like where they're at, are they targeting contracts, are they targeting like independent B2B business to business contract, or they're trying to land full-time job. That's another segmentation that I could have done. Um, vehicle of transformation like for example, the recipe, right, for a like my career coaching, like just an example, is to become a thought leader. And the way you become thought leader, you start putting out your social media content out there. You create your YouTube channel, you start talking about your craft, and you share your perspective publicly. You share your knowledge with your audience. This is like this is the vehicle of transformation. I can niche down on vehicles of transformation, and that will apply for everybody, right? Like CEO can do that, like managers can do that, and I know managers and I know CEOs who can do that. Individual contributors all day, right? Like vehicles of transformation. People often don't know their ideal customers well enough. Another thing, you're not using platform correctly. You're not using platform correctly. So, and this is going to be LinkedIn specific. Listen, can I just say that you have to get up to speed with the changes? Platforms are changing, algorithms and people's human behavior is changing. You are not using platform correctly. One of the reasons, like on LinkedIn specifically, one of the reasons people may not be interested in your services, or people may not buy, because you like your profile doesn't speak to them. You have an employee profile. Because when you are selling on LinkedIn, when you provide services on LinkedIn, your profile looks completely different. Your profile looks like a landing page for the people to come to you and to get services, like a landing page. What is your tagline? Like, I'm gonna share something with you. Hold on. I'm gonna share something with you. So I'm gonna share with you my profile, right? So like you kind of have an example. You kind of have an example, like what's what's going on, how it can be used. Let me make it full screen and let me share that. All right. This is this is my profile, right? And we're starting with a tagline. Who do I like? What do I do? Who do I help? And on each platform though may behave differently. On Instagram, it's a little different. It's gonna be like it has to be a lot shorter and to the point. On LinkedIn, I have more real estate, right? And I say I help coaches and service providers get new high ticket clients using LinkedIn and YouTube, and then sales strategies and effective content marketing, like one-on-one coaching, coach, whatever, like searchable results. And it's also searchable, right? People who land on my page, they know what I am about. They know what I am about. And if that portion is not clear on your profile, you need to fix that. You need to fix that immediately. The same for other platforms. When people land on your profile, they should know what you're about, right? About section, right? Also, like, what are you like? What are you selling? What are you doing? Like, what is your story? And like posting itself, right? This is what I see a lot of people do. Like, let me show you something. Let me show you something. I'm gonna share one of my posts that I posted recently, right? It's a video post, right? But um on Instagram, for example, this post would have a lot of hashtags. On LinkedIn, hashtags are not cool anymore. Like, LinkedIn is going away from hashtags. And in fact, when hashtags were relevant, if you overuse hashtags on LinkedIn, your post will go down. And many people wonder, like, nobody sees my post because you have 10,000 hashtags in that post. Like, simply knowing how platform works is important. Simply no. And a lot of listen, a lot of platforms are adapting this behavior when they're focusing on SEO, search engine optimization, your words that you're using, your messaging that you're putting out there, like the keywords rather than like hashtags. So incorrect, like when people use platform incorrectly, when people use platform incorrectly, that will indeed hinder your reach. Like you Also another thing, you never sell. You never sell. When it comes to content marketing, right? When it comes to content marketing, there are seasons in your marketing. There, like, when you are starting out, and when I say starting out, I'm not saying starting out from zero. Let's say you had a campaign, you had a launch, right? Like right now, like I'm doing a launch. You have a launch, and after it's done, like this is active promotional period when I'm actually making an invitation. And the invitation for my program is make book a call with me. Drop in the comment, book a call with me if you want to get on a call with me, if you want to get a consultation, and if you want to enroll in my program. I only have 3 spots available for one-on-one coaching. Only 3 spots available. Drop in the comments, book a call. So this is where I'm actively making an invitation. I'm actively making an offer. But after that, after that, there will be nurturing period. When I nurture people, when I provide value 100%, I give people more than I can receive. And Sometimes there's no call to action. There's no call to action to comment. There's no call to action to book a call with me. There's no call to action to do anything. I'm giving the value. And let me tell you something, because like this is something that I was struggling with different coaches. Um, there is there is a narrative that you are either like seeding or selling, right? You're nurturing or you're selling. But before you sell, right? Before you make an invitation to book a call, to join the group, to comment something below, and I sent you the more detail, you have to earn the right to sell. And the way you earn the right to sell by nurturing your people, by providing value. So after you provided value and you provide value for probably like a week or two, like a week is a good period when you let people breathe, you deliver a lot of value, 1 or 2 weeks when when you just provide value. And then you start gathering data because you never stop learning about your customer because humans behaviors change, people change, economic times change. You start putting out like posts there like, okay, um do you have like, if you want to get X, Y, and Z by this time, then comment below something like, I don't know, like for example, if you want to land a high ticket clients by the holidays, comment below high ticket and I will send you more information. Something like that, right? And then like I see who is commenting. I see who is engaging. I see how people react. Now I might throw a poll and ask like, okay, what problem you're experiencing right now based on my assumptions about my customer. I might directly ask people, hey, tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you're struggling right now. Send me a ADM with with one of the struggles that you're experiencing right now. And again, at that point, my objective is not necessarily close a sale, but rather understand my customer. And then I go to a phase when I'm actually actively selling, making an invitation, invite people to my program by delivering value, right? By delivering value. For example, right now, I am delivering value. I'm giving more than I can receive. I could have charged you for this information because a lot of coaches they will charge you for this information inside their coaching programs. They will charge you probably like, I don't know, anything from like 4,500 to $5,000 to $6,000 to provide you this, sometimes more. But this is this is a part of building your community, your engaged community, provide giving more that you can receive. And the another problem that a lot of another blind spot that entrepreneurs have is a lack of sales skills. Is a lack of sales skills. Listen, sales is a skill. And just watching a training how to do a sales, just to get the script how to do a sales, this is not enough. This is what I know, and what I know from my clients. I today at 4 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going live with my client who sold five-figure program, five figure. And what was interesting because my client had a training on high ticket sales. My client had a script. My client knew, like, even like when we had our initial consultation, our initial like clarity call, my client like walked me through her sales call, and she like on the surface she did everything correctly, like, yeah, like that's right, yep, that's it, that's correct. But when we started working together, first of all, I reviewed her sales call, right? On direct feedback. You should record your sales calls and you should watch yourself in that conversation. So I reviewed her sales call. And not only that, we also did a role play because tonality is important, because your body language is important, because your delivery is important, because your energy is important. Right? Sometimes a lot of the time in sales we need to slow down. We even because like people might misconstrue your excitement with nervousness because like human brain registers almost identical excitement and nervousness. So like and also where your prospect is at, right? There's so many components. If your prospect is overly excited and overly nervous, right? Like this is really hard place to actually talk about their problems. You need to make them comfortable, you need to disarm them, you need to create a rapport, and you need to lead, right, in the sales conversation. And so and this is something that you learn in role play. I teach challenger sale model, and the challenger sale model is control the conversation, lead the conversation, and it's not about dominating your prospect. It's about your leadership because how people feel safe when they talk to you by your leadership. That's number one. Number two, educate them for differentiation. Don't coach them, but educate for the differentiation. Because now this is where like the urgency problem comes in. This is where and the scarcity problems comes in. This is where objections, right? Like you might be able to handle objections before they arise. And actually, on Friday, I'm doing the mini training like live. So join me on Friday. We're going to talk about sales and sales alone. But the lack the lack of sales skills is another reason why people have trouble converting their clients. So let's talk about high buyer psychology. So, high buyer psychology, right? A lot of entrepreneurs, especially service based entrepreneurs, especially purpose driven entrepreneurs, we our messaging is off when we start talking to people who are struggling. We need to focus on the leaders. And every leader has a struggle. But when I say that we should focus on leaders and not strugglers, I'm talking about the mindset because it is really easy to get your prospect, get your audience in a victim mindset, in a suffering mindset when your messaging sounds like this, like, do you feel stuck? Do you feel whatever? Like, do you struggle with X, Y, and Z? You can talk about pain. You can talk about, and you should talk about pain. Right now, I'm talking about pain. Right now, I'm talking about why people are not converting, but I'm talking to leaders because when you can contract you can put together your messaging in a way that like, hey, every leader has a blind spot. Let's get you clients faster. Let let's move you forward, right? Instead of like, hey, do you feel stagnant landing clients? Like, no, let's get your services out there. Let's get your leadership in order. Let's bring urgency to your business and to your audience so they feel that urgency, so they know that you're right solution. Let's elevate their awareness. And this is like speak to leaders. Speak to leaders. Speak to winners. Because often purpose driven entrepreneurs, purpose driven coaches, purpose driven service providers, we bring people who are in real hard struggle and they're like they really truly can't afford our services, either because they don't lack money, because they don't have the money, or because they're in that lack mindset. Because money objection is not always about the money. It's also like how, like in what state we are bringing them in. If we are bringing them in a state of suffering and pain and despair, this is really hard state to self like to sell it to our prospect, to convert our prospect. We should talk about the pain, educate for differentiation, but speak to your messaging should be around leadership, should be around winning, should be around the results. Speak to the results. Nobody cares about your program. Nobody cares about how many steps. Nobody cares about how many calls. Speak about the results. This is why in my messaging and with my clients, like speak about the results. Like one of my clients just made what 6 times return on investment after working with me. Speak about the results. People start businesses from nothing. People learn sales skills. And like I'm going to show you the case studies a little bit later so you kind of can see the example. Educate on the gap. Educate for differentiation. Like if you see like this is what this is why surveying your audience is really important. You gather information, you see the gap, educate them on the gap. And not just like, hey, you have a gap, like, hey, like the reason you're losing money in your business, the reason why you're not landing jobs, the reason why you are not in your perfect alignment is X, Y, and Z. And the more you do that, strategically educate them on the cost of inaction. The gap is the cost of inaction. And this is like this, and this is your this is your leverage in the sales and your sales goal. You create the larger the gap is, the quicker the sales is, right? Like, and a lot of the time, entrepreneurs struggling with creating that gap, So let me show you case studies. We're going to go through case studies and then we're going to go through questions and answers. And uh, if um, if we have people on the call who want to do hot seat coaching, we can do hot seat coaching. So case study, Jason. When Jason start like again like before and after, right? Like take notes. Jason. So before we started working with Jason, he had $119 course, a low ticket offer. He had no sales training. He had no clarity on business strategy because Jason wanted to go to too many different directions. After we started working together, Jason got high ticket mentorship, regular role play training, lunch strategy that converts. And Jason was able to launch his high ticket mentorship program for iOS developers. And actually, when Jason, even before we started working together, Jason had trouble selling his course. And one of my questions was like, okay, how many times did you actually sell your course, actively selling your course? And Jason didn't know what I was talking about. Like, how do I actively sell my course? Like, so I post like a video like once a month. So, like, is it not actively selling? No, like, and practically you didn't sell your course. Another case study, this is my client. I'm super proud of her, and we're going live today at 4 p.m. So uh before we started working together, there was a problem with offer positioning. My client has 5-figure offer, and that like one of the problems was offer positioning. How she positioning her offer, like because like she has the expertise. People saw the value, but as soon as she like make minor adjustment in her offer, she got she got two yeses immediately. She got two yeses immediately. No system to generate leads and convert leads, right? Like my client is really, really good on LinkedIn and LinkedIn. This is how she brings people in, but like also but there's no system, and this is something that we're still working together, right? Like my client recently joined the program, and we're working on creating that system, not just a launch strategy, not just content strategy, but a system that converts, right? And it's not just about content pillars, it's about like guiding. And tomorrow we're going to talk about content that converts and how to generate leads and how to make your content more converting, more profitable. We're going to talk about that. But like this is about the system. And after working together, like she closed two five-figure deals. Like she got regular role play sales training that helped her with her sales skills like dramatically, and consistent feedback on the sales methodology. Uh, so again, like before I go to questions and answers, uh do I have anybody who would like to join for hot seat coaching? Gabriella, if you want to join for hot seat coaching, just like let me know. If you have a specific question, if you want to join me, ask me a question, like you are more than welcome. And by the way, if you're not on Zoom and if you would like to jump on the call with me, ask me questions live on the call, on the Zoom, you're more than welcome to do that. And you can either type your question, or you can join me live, like just unmute yourself, like turn your camera on if you will, and just ask me question in whatever way you prefer. In whatever way you prefer. All right. Let me jump to other questions that I have. So why people don't buy? We just talk, and these are the questions from my audience, right? Because before I started my masterclass, I literally ask everybody who sign up what questions they have. Why people don't buy? So lack of urgency, wrong messaging, wrong people, wrong offer. So those three reasons people don't buy, or you're using platform incorrectly. That's when people don't buy. So another thing, another question, like, is it okay? Is it all right to put out a video that may not be great? So meaning, like, if video is not quite perfect, if the content is not quite perfect, is it okay to put it out? Is it okay to post that content? You have to start somewhere. Your first video is not going to be great. Your first content is not going to be great. But instead of focusing on creating perfect content, focus on what your customers want to see, what your customers want to receive. That's what is important. So, is LinkedIn time consuming? No, LinkedIn is not time consuming. LinkedIn is not time consuming. This is my LinkedIn ritual. I spend probably an hour, maybe 2 hours on LinkedIn every day. So my activities, I comment on posts, I engage with my community, I respond to DMs, I send connection requests, and I start conversations. And it's about an hour or two a day. And I like, in terms of the posting, I can post just 3 times a week with occasional live stream. I'm team too much. Sometimes I go more than that. Sometimes I go 2 times per week live, but this is my choice. And I post probably 5 times a week. Again, my choice, but you can post 3 times. Absolutely, absolutely okay. LinkedIn is a slower platform than Instagram. You don't need to chase by creating the whole lot of content here. It's about quality, and it's about building connection and building your network, building collaboration versus just like putting out as much content as possible. So it's a little different purpose. So LinkedIn is not time consuming. Uh, do I have to list my employment if I run a business? It's up to you. Like if you're using your LinkedIn profile like strictly for your business, you don't have to list your employment, but also it depends on your business. For example, when I started my career coaching business, I have background in tech. I list my employment. I still have my employment on my LinkedIn because these are my receipts. This is my legacy. I'm not going to remove my employment from LinkedIn. And again, there is a way to actually market your offer or product on LinkedIn if you don't want your employer to know. And this is also like something that I teach inside of my program, because there's a way to market your service. It's going to be a little bit slower, but there is a way to market your service on LinkedIn without your employer really knowing, without you putting your business as a place of employment, right? There's certainly a way. And let me stop sharing. I think I have one question in the comments. Uh, can you give me some ideas on how to shift my messaging to speak to leaders? I recognize that I've been speaking to stuck people. Um, Gabriella, excellent question. So I would start with like, what is the outcome? What is the outcome of your program? What is their desired state? What they inspire to be? For example, in my program, I want to work with people who want to be leaders, who want to lead people, who want to be good at sales, who want to be good at communicating their messaging, who want to expand. Like no matter if you're starting your business at the very beginning, or you're already entrepreneur, you already have an offer, I want to expand your territory. Expand your territory with LinkedIn. Expand your territory with better content marketing. Expand your territory with better messaging. Expand your territory with a sales training. So call people up to that mountain. Call people out what people are not doing, and then call them up to the mountain, lead them to the mountain, lead them to their desire, because they like it. This is a fine balance, right? Between talking about how stuck they are to where they want to be. Because every single coach that I work with, they talk about leadership. They talk about that mountain. They talk about that achievement. They talk about greatness. And like this is how you can shift your messaging. Excellent, like really, really excellent question. So if you're joining me live, my enrollment for my program is open. So my enrollment is application based. So if you wanna work with me, drop in the comments, book a call, and I will send you the link to book a call with me. This call is really designed to provide you a lot of value, and also um, see if it is a good fit for you, because this is something that I prefer in my coaching practice. Like I want to make sure that I can deliver the value, I can solve your problem, and I can deliver your results. So almost every single client that I have in my either in my coaching in my career coaching program or in my business coaching program, my one-on-one clients, we all went through a consultation. And that consultation is not going to be a high pressure sales call. and it's gonna be a conversation about your needs, about your business, about your goals. And if your goals are aligned with the promise of the program, with what I am teaching, like, um, like that's going to be a determining factor if you should work with me. And everybody, regardless if they sign up or if they don't sign up, because the purpose of my consultation is not necessarily make a sale, but deliver the value. Everybody, every single person who signed up for a consultation got a lot of value out of it. Because I promise you, you will walk away with something. You will walk away with something. So uh if you're looking for a coach, if you want to sell high ticket offer, or if you want to transform your low ticket offer into high ticket offer, if you want to master how to utilize LinkedIn, how to build powerful connections, powerful collaborations, and really expand your territory with YouTube as a secondary platform, as a search engine, drop in the comments, book a call. Drop in the comments, book a call, and I will send you the link, and we can set up the consultation call. All right. Any other questions? Thank you so much. Yeah, Gabriela, thank you for asking. This is really, really great question, because um this is like talking to the people that are stuck. This is a very common denominator in coaching community, like, and in service-based entrepreneurs. Because like we have a problem that we're solving, right? But let me let me check if I have comments on LinkedIn. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Let me see if I have comments on LinkedIn. All right. I don't have any comments on LinkedIn just yet, but let me see other platforms. I don't see anything on Instagram. I don't see anything on like on YouTube. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you. And join me tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I'm going to talk about how to increase your lead generation on LinkedIn. That's like, listen, if you're not on LinkedIn yet, like, this is a very organic, easy platform to connect with more affluent buyers. That it just is. And you don't have to be a career coach. You don't have to sell anything corporate, because I know a lot of life coaches on LinkedIn too. It's about how you craft your messaging, and it's about how you position yourself. And you can totally focus on affluent buyers, affluent leaders who want that transformation. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I will talk to you tomorrow. Until tomorrow.